So annoying. You and Julie are really getting on my nerves. I wish you both would just disappear. Ryan lashed out with unbelievable verbal abuse at me and his own daughter. Just when I thought I couldn't trust this man anymore, an incident occurred. Julie! One day, when I returned home from work, I found Julie sitting on the dirt in the garden, hugging her knees. Her hands were trembling from the cold. Even though she was wearing a coat, the exposed parts of her face and the backs of her hands had turned red and black from the cold. Seeing my face, Julie weakly smiled with relief. Mom, welcome back. Why are you in the garden? What happened? Where's Dad? Julie kept her smile but muttered in resignation. He said he's on a family trip with Mary. Leaving behind one child for a trip is unforgivable, but to specifically tell Julie he was going on a family trip and then leave her behind was a malicious act of the lowest order. What does he think of Julie's existence, of her life? Ryan must underestimate me as a weak woman with little income. Indeed, he's right. But a mother can become strong when needed. We don't need a father like him. I am Kelly Smith. I am a housewife in my 40s. I have 2 daughters. Julie, who is in the 2nd grade of elementary school. And Mary, who is 3 years old. With Mary starting preschool, I began working part-time. Having not worked since Julie was born, I found myself physically and mentally exhausted. However, having had little interaction with others before, I was happy to converse with adults. Mom, I cooked pasta for you. What? Julie did? Wow, thank you. When I got home 30 minutes after Julie from my part-time job, she proudly pointed to a pot. I was moved that she wanted to help out, considering how tired I was from work. Just until recently, I was the one preparing their clothes in the morning. When I tried to hug Julie out of happiness, she quickly dodged me. Come on, I always tell you I don't like hugs. It's a bit sad, but my daughters are growing up fast. However, I've been really troubled by the presence of my rebellious eldest son lately. What's this meal? Disgusting. My eldest son, no, my husband Ryan exaggeratedly exclaimed. It's too soft. Gross. How can anyone eat this? It's trash. Indeed, today's pasta was on the softer side. I had told Ryan that Julie had cooked today's meal. Yet, he still chose to loudly complain, which I couldn't understand. Hey, Ryan, stop it. What? Why are you mad? I'm just telling the truth. It's not my fault. Julie was biting her lip and glaring at Ryan. You think it's okay to look at your parent like that? You're really cheeky. Not cute at all. Can't even cook properly, you're a failure as a girl. These are not words to be said to a grade school daughter. My head throbbing with anger, I took a deep breath. At that moment, Mary peeked out between us. Daddy, can't eat your meal? Mary will cast a spell for you. She showed us the sprinkles. Stretching, she sprinkled them over Ryan's meal. Make it delicious. Make it delicious. Look, Daddy, no being picky. Eat a lot and grow big, okay? The tense atmosphere instantly lightened. Ryan's cheeks relaxed, and he gently patted Mary's head. Thank you, Mary. You're so cute. Yeah. And Julie is cute too. Mary is cuter. Daddy, love you. Mary looked up at Ryan with an innocent smile. She was truly a magician. She had easily silenced Ryan, who had been so maliciously gleeful at belittling Julie. We're not exactly the happiest family, but we're fairly normal. Ryan doesn't show much interest in me or the daughters. Even when Mary had trouble with friends, he was indifferent, saying, So? Not my problem. But Ryan, he drinks only in moderation and doesn't gamble, and of course, he doesn't have a rough side where he uses physical force. It's just that everything about the house and our daughter Julie falls on me. He's not a bad person. I had resigned myself to thinking this is just how men without a sense of fatherhood are. Our relationship started to crumble about 6 months ago. There was a day when Ryan came home drunk, in an unusually good mood. Daddy has returned. He started bothering the daughters, who were just about to go to bed. Dad, don't cling to me. You stink. Don't say that. I'm a good guy, right? You love me, right? Stop it. Thinking back, it was from that day that Julie began to avoid Ryan by calling him stinky, and Ryan started to find Julie annoying, calling her not cute. Even on days when Ryan hadn't been drinking, Julie would glare at him and call him stinky. I can't tell because of my chronic sinusitis, but I guess girls her age are sensitive. Since she doesn't speak ill of him to his face, I've been watching over this as part of her growing up. The real problem is Ryan. I've got a souvenir. When Ryan came home from work, he loudly announced and showed us a box of cakes. For a moment, even Julie smiled. But when we opened the box, there were only 2 cakes. As someone who loves cake, I secretly felt let down thinking they were only for the daughters. Here, Mary, you get the chocolate cake. You love it, right? Yeah. Love it. And this cheesecake is for? Ryan smirked mischievously. Daddy's. Julie's smile vanished in an instant. She immediately turned her back on Ryan, turning on the TV as if to say how ridiculous. Faced with such blatant antagonism, I couldn't help but let out an annoyed what? Wait a minute. What about Julie's? This isn't right. Ryan seemed to have been expecting this reaction from the start, grinning in a way that made me sick. Well, I bought it with my own money. It's not like you have a say in this. Come on, Mary, let's eat together. Okay, let's share. Julie, Mom, let's split it. Innocent Mary brushed aside Ryan's malice. Happily bouncing, she started to prepare plates and forks for 4. No, it's just for Daddy and Mary. Ryan was flustered, but faced with Mary's beaming smile, he bit his lip hard. Still, Julie looked uncomfortable. So, I ran to the nearby store and bought a bunch of sweets. Let's start the dessert party. Finally, a smile returned to Julie's face. In contrast, Ryan clicked his tongue and ostentatiously ate the cheesecake, Julie's favorite. Ryan seemed really displeased. And complained even the next morning. You spoiled Julie too much. Buying her cake just because she fusses a bit will only make her more spoiled. She's cheeky, so you need to discipline her properly. Discipline? How is giving cake only to Mary and not to Julie discipline? That's just making Julie feel bad. And Mary can't even enjoy her cake properly. Think about both of their feelings. Ryan just can't keep up with Julie's growth and finds it cute no more. But how does it help to respond to a daughter's rebellious phase with antagonism? I wish Ryan would realize that he's a parent. You're a father, after all. Ryan slams his hand on the table. Yeah, I'm a father. That kid better not disrespect me. It pisses me off how she always glares at me. Raising his voice, he sounds like some thug. So annoying. Seriously annoying. You and Julie are really getting on my nerves. I wish you both would just disappear. If these were the words of a son in the midst of rebellion, maybe as a mother, I could have handled it. But the reality is, Ryan is Julie's father. These are not words a father should say to his daughter. Disappear? What are you talking about? Are you sane? Yeah, done. Talking to you is a waste of time. I have work to go to, you know? Unlike you, I'm busy. If you want to keep talking, pay me. $20 for 3 minutes should do. You're working part-time, you can afford $20, right? Ryan couldn't hold back his laughter, spitting out in disgust. Your part-time job pays what, $26 an hour? Wow, with that position, you still complain to me. You live thanks to me, so it's your job to make my life comfortable. First, do something about that spoiled Julie. Beat her down so she can't be spoiled. Got it? I felt a heat spreading throughout my body. My brain seemed to boil. I wanted to hurl vile words at Ryan, but I couldn't speak. Probably my face was all red, and I was just opening and closing my mouth. Wow, what a weird face. Why did I even marry someone as nagging and ugly as you? Oh, right. Because of Julie. So, it's Julie's fault my life got messed up? Everything is Julie's fault. Ryan left for work with a smirk. I held back the urge to scream, hitting my chest hard. Thank goodness Julie and Mary were still asleep. I was furious at Ryan, but also at myself. I want to protect Julie and Mary. I squatted down and cried silently. How powerless am I? I want to leave Ryan immediately, but I can't. Just as Ryan said, my part-time job pays less than $20 an hour. On my own, I can't provide the same life for my daughters. Even such a father is needed. Frustrated and ashamed at my own powerlessness, I couldn't stop crying. Mom, good morning. Mom, are you okay? I hear Julie and Mary's voices behind me. I can't let my daughters see their mother crying. I was curled up and couldn't even respond. After a while, I took a few deep breaths and roughly wiped away my tears. Then, I was back to being the cheerful mom I always am. Sorry. Good morning to both of you. Mom will make breakfast soon, just wait a bit, okay? I tried to smile at my daughters and head to the kitchen, but Julie grabbed my hand tightly. On the other side, Mary gripped my other hand. The warmth from their hands slowly made its way to me. I want to protect them. That made me even more determined. Attempts to have a conversation with Ryan afterward were futile. Ryan wouldn't listen. Julie's bad attitude is the problem. He stuck to this one point. Indeed, Julie doesn't say it out loud, but she obviously avoids Ryan, so I did talk to her about it. But he stinks. Even if it's that age, showing it in her behavior isn't right. It hurts a father's feelings. I explained that to her, but Julie hesitated and mumbled. But I really hate Daddy's smell. Don't you notice it, Mom? Julie's eyes were filled with tears. And finally, she shared the feelings she had been holding inside. Huh? Daddy smells sweet to you? Confused, I listened as Julie nodded. The relationship between Ryan and Julie remained strained. Ryan doted on Mary alone and treated Julie harshly. Mary is really cute. If I only had Mary, I'd be happy. Just as I was about to retort, Julie stopped me. Arguing would only lead to meaningless fights. That's stupid. She muttered so only I could hear, shrugging in frustration. The incident happened this weekend. I had a rare Saturday part-time job and went to work for half a day. What? Working on a Saturday? Well, I'll look after Mary, so you go to work without worries. You can earn tonight's dinner money, right? Ryan's snide remark irritated me, but I thought Mary would be safe with him, who adored her. I didn't want Julie to be mistreated in my absence, so I arranged for her to play at a friend's house in the morning. Afternoon, around 2 p.m., I hurried back home. I was supposed to be back by 1 p.m., but it got delayed. Ryan, did you feed Julie and Mary lunch? No, they're probably waiting for me. As I hurried to unlock the front door, I sensed a faint presence from the garden. Our garden is tiny, barely enough space for the mini tomato plant Julie brought home from school. It's winter, so no tomatoes to harvest, and not enough room to play, so the girls usually don't go out there. A bad feeling made me peek into the garden quietly. What? There was Julie, sitting on the ground in the garden. I rushed over, her hands clasping her knees were trembling from the cold. Julie! What happened? Even with a coat on, her exposed cheeks and the backs of her hands were red and black. I wrapped her icy cold hands in mine and rubbed them warm. Seeing my face, Julie weakly smiled with relief. Mom, welcome back. Sorry for making you wait. But why are you out here? What happened? Where's Dad? Julie kept her smile but muttered in resignation. He said he's on a family trip with Mary. I remembered Ryan being unusually cheerful this morning, happy about spending time with just Mary and him. I had dropped Julie off at her friend's house before heading to work. I had told Ryan that Julie would be back by noon. Apparently, when Julie got home, Ryan and Mary were just about to leave. A trip? A family trip? To specifically tell her it was a family trip was a malicious act of the lowest order. And to leave Julie out in the cold, without even unlocking the house for her. What does he think of Julie's existence, of her life? Sorry. You must have been cold. It's okay now. I hugged Julie tightly. Sitting on the damp and cold ground, Julie finally let her tears fall. I no longer want to see Julie's sad smiles or her tears. Then it's settled. We'll move out just the two of us. What? Julie's eyes widened in surprise. I had been planning to move out for some time. Now was the moment to act on it. But what about Mary? Mary will be okay. Pushing aside Julie's slight unease, we immediately started preparing for the move. While working on moving out, I called Ryan. It took several tries before he finally picked up. What? You're calling too much. It's kind of scary. Ryan should know best why I've been calling him non-stop. Where are you, leaving Julie behind? Oh, I'm out with Mary. She's my kid, too. Is it bad to take her out? It's fine to go out, but leaving Julie behind is terrible. I tried to stay calm, but I couldn't help raising my voice. I feared Ryan would explode in anger, but surprisingly, he was nonchalant. Julie is already in elementary school. It's fine. You're being overprotective. He seemed to be in high spirits about their so-called family trip. I could hear what sounded like theme park music in the background. Give Mary back. Don't talk about her like she's your property. Mary loves me more than you. Ryan laughed out loud. I wanted to cover my ears to block out his unpleasant laughter, but I could faintly hear Mary's voice. Hey, is that Mom on the phone? Then the call was cut off. No matter how many times I tried, I couldn't reach Ryan again. With no other choice, I left a note on the table about us leaving the house and left with Julie. Ryan called late at night. Where are you? Why aren't you here? Didn't you read the letter? Julie and I can't deal with you anymore. That's why we left the house. Huh? What about dinner? Even now, all he's worried about is his meal. I was too astounded to speak. Don't joke with me. Your job is to cook and clean. Get back here now. I'm not coming back. What did you say? What about today's dinner? It's unfair to just leave like this. As I remained silent, I heard Mary whining, Daddy. I'm hungry. Daddy. Hey, Daddy. I'm hungry. Mary, Mommy left us, so no dinner. So annoying. Maybe I'll order takeout. But then, I spent quite a bit on the trip. What a pain. I was concerned for Mary, but I ended the call. Ryan can enjoy his cherished time with his beloved Mary all he wants. And then, 3 days passed. I've been ignoring Ryan's frequent calls. Today, too, the phone has been ringing non-stop since early morning. The phone would ring, stop, then start again, indicating he's quite desperate. Thinking it's about time, I finally answered the call. Hey, I've been calling you so many times. What are you doing? Get back here now. I told you, I'm not coming back. Shut up. Come back. Just, somehow, deal with this. I could sense fatigue in Ryan's voice. Perhaps he's tired from being with Mary all the time since he's never been involved in parenting. Despite his pleas, I returned home. As I opened the door, Mary ran up to me like a dog. She jumped into my arms. Mommy! Welcome back! Mary, I'm home. Did you miss me? Not at all. I'm okay. Mary smiled brightly and cheerfully responded. Ryan stumbled up from behind. Where have you been wandering around until now? Under his eyes were dark circles, and he looked resentful. I left a note saying I was leaving. More importantly, where did you take Mary without asking? I took her to the amusement park. Before Ryan could finish, Mary chimed in. Daddy took me to the amusement park. Wow, Mary, that's great. Did you have fun with Daddy? And you know what, Cindy was there too. Cindy? As I slowly turned around, Ryan was looking up at an angle. Hey, Ryan. Who's Cindy? Ryan, looking away, seemed to be searching for an excuse. Well, Cindy is... As Ryan was flustered, Mary revealed the truth with a beaming smile. Cindy is Mary's new mommy. Now I have 2 mommies. Cool, right? I stroked Mary's head, who looked happy. No, that's not right. The mommy is Kelly only. Right, Kelly? Ryan swallowed nervously. Having our child call your affair partner mommy is the worst. I said in a surprisingly low voice. We have no choice but to divorce because of your affair. No, wait. Hold on with the divorce. Really, it's not what you think. Cindy and I are over. Ryan, usually so assertive, was trying to cling to me for some reason. I knew you were having an affair. What? Julie told me. She said she could smell something sweet on you. She wasn't avoiding you because of the smell, but because she hated having a father who cheats. Hearing that, Julie knew, even Ryan grimaced. Yet, he didn't stop making excuses. It was just a bit of fun with Cindy, not really an affair. And really, it's over with her. Tell Julie it was a misunderstanding. So, no divorce, okay? Just 3 days ago, he had taken Mary on a fake family trip, and now it's over? I can hardly believe those words. But well, I guess that's inevitable, I nodded. So, she dumped you? Ryan nodded silently. You're a dad with kids. A man who easily breaks his family can never be happy, even if he remarries. You just say whatever you want when I'm silent. I'm not the bad one here. It's Mary's fault Cindy left me. Ryan pointed accusingly at Mary. Mary's fault? You had fun at the amusement park, right? The amusement park, yeah. But after you left, I had to invite Cindy over. That's awful. I had no choice. It's your fault for leaving. Cindy, after taking care of Mary for half a day, she left too. That quitter. Ryan was agitated but soon slumped and hunched his back. Anyway, what's with Mary? What do you mean? She's a sweet girl. Even now, she's trying to stop our fight by bringing us snacks. My hands are full of snacks, and Ryan's pockets are stuffed too. Yet, Mary ran back to get more snacks. She was all over the place at the amusement park, got lost a bunch of times, such a hassle. But that's nothing compared to the tantrums after we got back. I ordered takeout for dinner, and she cried because she didn't want either a burger or snack. Mary doesn't like burgers or snacks in the first place. So I ordered a hot dog too, but she was still fussing. Of course. Mary likes plain bread. She's particular about that. She can eat hot dogs, but always on a separate plate from her bread. What? You indulge such whims? Mary's out of control. She doesn't sleep well at night, cries and screams. When am I supposed to sleep? That's why Ryan had dark circles under his eyes. Usually, Ryan sleeps in a different room from me and the girls. But I guess the noise still reached him, not that he cared before. She's crazy, right? She suddenly runs off when we go outside. What's with that? I thought she was just excited at the amusement park, but she dashed off into the street. I tried walking her to preschool, but it was impossible. Ryan was handed more snacks by Mary. Despite her smiling up at him, Ryan remained stone-faced and did not return the smile. Sitting down in the hallway, he buried his head in his hands. I'm tired. It's your fault for raising her wrong. You're a failure at parenting. You're not fit to be a mother, are you? I squatted in front of him and looked straight into his face. Me, unfit to be a mother? You, who knew nothing about Mary being this kind of child, are the one who's failed as a father, aren't you? Mary is already 3 years old. What have you been looking at for these 3 years? Ryan's face turned red. Shut up. I'm working, so it's your responsibility to take care of the kids. Don't burden me anymore. Just come back home. I kept my gaze fixed on him, slightly frowning. Did I fail at parenting? Yeah, you did. A huge failure. I guess so, huh? I stood up and looked down at Ryan with cold eyes. A father who has no interest in his own children and cheats, turning out to be such a worthless man. Who raised you to be like this? A parenting failure, huh? What? Being mean to a defiant child. Abandoning a child who doesn't act the way you want. Is that a father? We don't need a failed father like that. Ryan was overwhelmed by my assertiveness, unable to stand up. I had thought somewhere that parenting was my job, and I was supposed to be considerate to Ryan for providing for us. But now, seeing Ryan's foolishness laid bare, I can't imagine wanting to continue as a family with him. You want me to come back? No way. I came just to pick up Mary. Ryan, we don't need you. I'm not your mom. I'm not obliged to put up with your whims. Are you mad? Always so arrogant, but when I finally talk back, Ryan immediately loses his momentum. Sorry. I was wrong to cheat. But I'll properly break up with Cindy, okay? She's the worst. She said she wanted to take cute little Mary if we got married, but then she bailed after half a day. Useless, right? She's over 30 and still lives with her parents, can't even cook properly. After all, only you can be Mary's mother. Who was it that just looked down on me as an unfit mother? Trying to smooth things over with such convenient words. I deeply felt he was utterly untrustworthy. Right. I am Mary and Julie's mother, and I will never abandon these kids. I will protect them. Then, as a father, I cut off Ryan's voice. It's too late. We don't need you, Ryan. Why don't you go back to your mother and start over? Ryan, whether from anger or despair, shook with trembling hands on the floor. Breathing heavily, he looked down. "Daddy, here's some candy for you." Mary, concerned, piled up snacks in front of Ryan. He slightly raised his face and took Mary's hand. "Mary, you like Daddy, right?" "Yeah, I like you." "Then you'd hate it if Daddy wasn't around, right?" "Not really. It's okay if you're not here." Ryan's smile twisted. "Eh? You like Daddy, right?" "Yeah, I like him. I like Daddy this much." Mary showed by pressing her 2 index fingers together tightly. I couldn't help but burst into laughter. "That's 0, isn't it?" Next, Mary spread her arms wide. "And you know, I like Mommy this much." She ran down the hallway, yelling, "From here to here, that's how much I like Mommy." "You know, I like Mommy more than our house, even as much as the universe." Mary's love was unstoppable. As Mary's smile shone brighter, Ryan's face turned bluer. "So, that being said, we don't need Ryan. Goodbye." Ryan weakly raised his right hand as if to stop me, but he seemed to have no energy left to do so. I picked up Mary and left the house where we had lived with Ryan. Left alone, Ryan reluctantly called back his affair partner, Cindy. Even if she's not good at housework, she's better than Ryan, who can't do anything. Now that the bothersome child is gone, there's nothing to stop their love from reigniting. A mom friend from the neighborhood contacted me to let me know. She was shocked to see a strange woman entering and leaving my house. I thanked her for her concern and took the time to explain the situation clearly to avoid any misunderstandings. The rumor spread quickly throughout the neighborhood and somehow even reached Ryan's workplace. It really shows how small the world is. About a month after I left the house, when I contacted Ryan by phone, he responded with a rise in his voice, "Eh? Kelly? Long time no see. Have you been well? Missed me since I wasn't around? I've been waiting for a call from you. Even though you were living with your affair partner? How do you know?" "No, but I kicked her out." "You were dumped by the affair partner, weren't you?" "Huh?" It seems Ryan felt uncomfortable at his workplace after the rumor that he was cheated on and abandoned by his wife spread, and he quickly resigned. He probably thought finding a new job would be easy since he was competent. "Don't act all high and mighty when you're unemployed." "Was it?" "How do you know?" "Don't act all high and mighty when you're unemployed." That was the last thing Cindy threw at Ryan during their big fight. I heard about it from the same mom friend. "You probably ran away from an uncomfortable workplace, but couldn't find another job, right?" Hitting the nail on the head, Ryan fell silent. "Yet at home, you strut around without even bothering to put the dishes in the sink. Even the affair partner who loved you couldn't stand pampering an arrogant person. I told you before that you were a failure, but you couldn't grow from that, could you?" Ryan's heart must be completely shredded, having his pride wounded by me, the kids, and his affair partner. "I didn't contact you today because I was worried about you or because I want to get back together with you," I stated in a voice devoid of emotion. "Sign the divorce papers I sent before, quickly." I have no use for Ryan except to sever ties. Ryan, not wanting to be blamed any further, agreed to the divorce easily. We got everything sorted with a lawyer, including child support and division of property. This will ensure that the girls and I won't struggle for a while. "Sorry I'm late." When I got home from work, a delightful aroma filled the air. "Oh, it's pizza today." "Yeah. Grandma and I made it." "Awesome. I can't wait to eat." I moved back in with my parents with the girls. My parents aren't wealthy, and Julie had to change schools because of the move. "I can make friends anywhere. But you only have one mom." I was hesitant to rely on my parents, but Julie encouraged me. Now, with my parents' help, I'm able to work full-time. "Hey, Mom. Mary made the onions in the pizza." My parents happily indulge in Mary's quirks and whimsical behavior. They seem to have more patience with their adorable grandchildren. It seems like they were stricter with me when I was a kid, huh? Julie and Mary's pizza is so yummy. There's a secret ingredient. What do you think it is? Love? Julie gave a wry smile. The correct answer was chocolate. Mary couldn't hold back and revealed the secret. This ordinary life feels overwhelmingly happy, almost bringing me to tears.